Best Director in a Motion Picture. I screamed when I saw this list. This is the most perfect list of all lists. Hey everyone, welcome back to Candid Cinema. I'm Amanda, otherwise known as AMXND Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Today I will be giving my reactions to the 2024 Golden Globe nominations. Award season's here. I'm very excited. I had a lot of fun covering this for you guys last year, and I hope that we can continue to have fun here. I had set my alarm for 7:30 this morning. I slept through my alarm, and the Golden Globes were still late. So I made the right decision. I woke up in time to catch the first category, so I'm very happy about that. But there were no shenanigans with these nominations, except for one, and I will get into it. So first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to nextbestpicture.com because that's what I use to actually go through the nominations here. So keep it locked on Next Best Picture. They cover everything, and they're literally my go-to during awards season, as I do my own coverage, but not as like in detail and extensive as Next Best Picture. So definitely go give them a follow on Twitter and other podcast platforms. So I normally don't do television because I don't watch enough TV, but what I did watch got nominated. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy for Daisy Jones and the Six. It got nominated for limited series, and Sam Claflin and Riley Keough both got nominated for Billy and Daisy, and I'm just so happy about that. Also, we have Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey who got nominated for The Last of Us. I did full coverage of that season, and I'm just very, very happy for both of them. TV's going great. For me, apparently, it's going great. So I'm going to get straight into it. I'm going to start off with box office achievement here. So I'm just going to get into the little nitty gritty. All right. So first we have nominated for box office achievement. We have Barbie, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, John Wick Chapter 4, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, yes, Oppenheimer, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the Super Mario Brothers movie, and Taylor Swift The Eras Tour. Which one is the sneak? We know what the sneak is. They just want her to show up because this doesn't make any sense to me. There were other films like Five Nights at Freddy's that actually broke some numbers. So no one really expected that movie to do that well, but it did. Should have been there. Anyways, I personally think early predictions, we know that Barbie's going to take it. It hit the billion. Hopefully when Oppenheimer enters theaters again January 5th, they can hit the billion as well. So it's a Barbie Oppenheimer battle, as it's going to be for the rest of these nominations. So I'm really looking forward to seeing, one of them win this award. So now we have Best Motion Picture Foreign Language. We have Anatomy of a Fall, Fallen Leaves, Io Capitano, Past Lives, Society of the Snow, and The Zone of Interest. I have actually watched three? Is it three? One, two. I lied. I have watched two of these films, and I loved both of them very much for different reasons. I think Anatomy of a Fall is one of the best procedurals I've ever seen in my life, and it is fantastic work from Justine Triet. Past Lives brought me to tears. It's one of the most beautiful and very realistic romance dramas that I've seen in a very long time, and that's getting a lot of love here today at the Globes, and I was just very happy about that. I'm excited to watch Zone of Interest. I have no idea what that movie is about. I'm going in blind as I normally do because I love doing that. And this is definitely one where I've heard that it's going to shock me. So I don't want to know anything. I've seen no trailers. I've seen one poster that intrigued me, and that's it. I've heard Fallen Leaves and Society of the Snow have been really well received. So I'm very excited to dive into those two. Early predictions, I think it'll go to Zone of Interest depending on what wins. I think they're going to kind of like split it up here between Zone of Interest and Anatomy of a Fall, but both of them deserve the hype from what I've been reading about Zone of Interest and definitely what I've seen from Anatomy of a Fall. Past Lives has a better chance in other categories than foreign language film. So we have that for foreign language film. Next, we have Best Motion Picture Animated, and this is where I have a bone to pick. All right, so we have The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the Super Mario Brothers movie, Suzume, and Wish. Okay, let me talk to you here. Okay. I personally think that Elemental was mediocre. I also think that Wish was mediocre. You could have just put one in here. Okay. And they chose not to because I have no idea why. I don't think either of them had a strong enough story to be there. And the animation wasn't the strongest in Elemental. Wish I can kind of fight for, but there's just something about Elemental that wasn't strong enough for me. So I think that Mutant Mayhem, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, was so well done, had a great script, and the animation's fantastic. So I really loved that movie, and it's not here. So I would have flipped either Elemental or Wish and put Mutant Mayhem in there. People are getting mad that I have said that because the Super Mario Brothers movie is there and it also has a weak script. But the animation that Illumination brings to the table is on another level and it's absolutely gorgeous. And this is an animated feature. So let's remember that. I do think it deserves a nomination. If Wish and Elemental are there based on the weakness of the script, then Super Mario Brothers movie should also be there. That's all I'm going to say. But early predictions, I do think that The Boy and the Heron's going to take it. I haven't watched it yet, but obviously I've seen the trailers and I think that the animation there is great. And I heard that the story's fantastic. So I do think that The Boy and the Heron can kind of edge out Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Although I think Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is the best animated feature of the year, I do think that it will suffer winning awards just because it's a part one. It's the only thing. It's not a completed film. There's a massive cliffhanger at the end of this, and it doesn't feel like an ending. So it's the only reason why I think that Across the Spider-Verse won't win here, and The Boy and the Heron can just swoop in. So that's a possibility. Next, we have Best Original Song Motion Picture. This is where we're going to get kind of messy. We're going to get kind of messy here. What Was I Made For from Barbie? I'm Just Ken from Barbie. Dance the Night from Barbie. Road to Freedom from Rustin. I called this getting nominated the second I heard it when I watched it. Addicted to Romance from She Came to Me. Bruce Springsteen wrote and performed that, so that's probably why it's there. And then Peaches from the Super Mario Brothers movie. I'm very happy Peaches got nominated. Academy, if you do not nominate Peaches so we can get Jack Black in a Bowser costume sitting on that stage, I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know what we're doing here. But nomination-wise and win-wise, for Barbie to have 3 songs nominated, that could harm it at the end. Personally, I don't think Dance the Night should have been nominated. If you're going to nominate one fun song from Barbie, I would have just done I'm Just Ken and What Was I Made For. I don't think that Dance the Night is that strong. Again, I'm pretty sure they just want Dua Lipa to show up at the Golden Globes. So that makes complete sense to me. They want those people there. But I just think it's not a strong enough song compared to What Was I Made For from the Barbie movie. And obviously, I'm Just Ken is fun. So 3 nominations for the same category. That's really tough. And I do think that Rustin has a chance to win this. I also think that the Super Mario Brothers movie has a chance to win this. I do. And it's going to be madness because obviously Barbie's going to split the vote. Next, we have Best Original Score, which is probably my favorite category. Oh my God. We have The Boy and the Heron, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and The Zone of Interest. This is a stacked category. I love it. I'm kind of sad that The Killer score was not nominated because I love Reznor and Ross, and that was amazing. But oh my God, between Killers of the Flower Moon and Poor Things and Oppenheimer and Across the Spider-Verse, who's winning? Who's winning? I would love for Ludwig Göransson to win because I think that Oppenheimer had a phenomenal score, but Robbie Robertson's score for Killers of the Flower Moon, ooh, that was like the steady heartbeat throughout that film. And I think it's between the two of them, honestly. Next, we have Best Screenplay. Motion Picture, Best Screenplay. This is hard. I'm very happy to see Anatomy of a Fall here. Barbie's here. Killers of the Flower Moon is here. Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things. Oh my God. All of these films are in my top 10, except for Barbie. Yeah. So I don't think Barbie should win Best Screenplay. I think there were a lot of issues with it. The Barbie screenplay is really tough for me. I enjoyed it, but I don't think that it is deserving of an award or win. I felt like it was very messy and very jumbled, especially with Ken's story. I don't think that it was strong enough. Everything else here, incredible. They're all in my top 10. All of those films, except for Barbie, are in my top 10. Some of the best screenplays of the year. But if I would have to pick one as an early prediction, because this is just best screenplay, it's not original and adapted, it's not divided, and it's the best screenplay of the year, I honestly would give it to probably Poor Things or Oppenheimer. I think Poor Things has a better chance here. I also think Anatomy of a Fall, because it's a safe bet as a procedural, could also win, but it's a lot. This category is stacked, and I loved every single film here. Please watch them if you haven't seen them. So good. Next, we have Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role in Any Motion Picture. We have Willem Dafoe for Poor Things, Robert De Niro for Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling for Barbie, Charles Melton for May December, and Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things. I'm very happy that Charles Melton got nominated. As much as I dislike May December, I do think that he gave a great performance, and I'm happy that he's getting the recognition here, of course. I love that Mark Ruffalo and Willem Dafoe got nominated for Poor Things. Both of them did a fantastic job in their respective roles. I personally love Ruffalo more than Dafoe in this film, but it was so good. It was so good. I'm happy they both got nominated, but it's going to go to split vote between the two of them. And I do think that Robert Downey Jr. has it on lock this season. I would be very surprised if anyone else takes it. I cannot see De Niro taking it. If it was strictly a comedy category, I could see Ryan Gosling taking it, but I do hope to God that Robert Downey Jr. is the one that takes it for Oppenheimer, just so we can get a nice clean Oscar run with RDJ. I think that would be great for him. I know that Robert Downey Jr. and Charles Melton have kind of split wins in the critics circles, but I have seen Mark Ruffalo's name thrown around, so I don't know what's going to happen here, but if RDJ does win, I personally think it's a lock to that Oscar. So I'm very excited for that. Next, we have Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. Best Performance by an Actor, Musical or Comedy, not drama yet. We have Nicolas Cage for Dream Scenario, Timothée Chalamet for Wonka. I'm so happy for my boy. Matt Damon for Air, which is still one of my favorite performances this year. He's so great in it. Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Joaquin Phoenix for Beau is Afraid, and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. This is a very fun category. I love the nominations here. I think Matt Damon sneaking in for Air just is perfect. It's so perfect, and I love that movie. But I do think that Paul Giamatti is going to take it for The Holdovers. The movie's magic. It's one of his best performances, if not his best performance, and I really love Giamatti in that. Shout out to Timothée Chalamet for getting nominated for Wonka. I knew he was going to get some love, even though I haven't seen it yet, but I'm watching it this Friday, so I'm really excited about that. Happy to see Jeffrey Wright here. I still have to watch American Fiction, and Joaquin Phoenix for Beau is Afraid is a very special one. I thought he was fantastic in the movie, even though it wasn't my vibe, but he was really good. So early predictions here, I think Paul Giamatti is kind of a lock for The Holdovers. I'd be very surprised if anyone else takes that from him. Next, we have Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture, Drama. We got the drama with the drama, guys. We have Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Coleman Domingo for Rustin, Leonardo DiCaprio for Killers of the Flower Moon, Barry Keoghan for Saltburn, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and Andrew Scott for All of Us Strangers. Oh boy, Best Actor is going to be tough. It's going to be so tough. I personally think that Leonardo DiCaprio is just nominated for being Leonardo DiCaprio. I thought he was fine in Killers of the Flower Moon. I don't think it's one of his best performances, sadly, and I would love to see another name there. And believe me, like 10 years ago, I would have been like, oh my God, like it's the best news ever. But because he does have an Oscar, I'm more like, let's give it to someone else this time. I love you, Leo, but I would kind of like to see somebody else in this lineup. But obviously, Killers of the Flower Moon is a massive film this year, so it makes sense for him to get nominated for Best Actor. I personally think that it's going to be between Bradley Cooper and Cillian Murphy. I can't see anyone else winning this. No offense to Coleman Domingo, who gives a great performance in Rustin, but I do think that there's a lot of traction and a lot of momentum for Cillian Murphy to win for Oppenheimer. Bradley Cooper is apparently owed. And the thing is that he has been fighting for an Oscar win for a very long time. And I personally think he was robbed for Best Actor as Jackson Maine in A Star is Born. So if they don't give him director, I would love for him to get an actor win here with Maestro because he was exceptional. I love seeing Andrew Scott here for All of Us Strangers. That movie made me tear up, and I will have a review up for it next week. It was really good, but early predictions, depending on who wins for director and what they do for picture and screenplay, I do think that Bradley Cooper is going to slightly edge out Cillian Murphy. Just a bit. Just a bit. I would love to see Cillian Murphy win, but I do think that B. Coops is going to come in and take that from him. Next, we have Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role in Any Motion Picture. And we have Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks for The Color Purple, Jodie Foster for Nyad, Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers, Julianne Moore for May December, and Rosamund Pike for Saltburn. I love that Rosamund Pike is here. Welcome back to award season, girly, because we have missed you, Miss Pike, and she was so great in Saltburn. Emily Blunt is really strong in Oppenheimer for what she had to work with. Danielle Brooks, I haven't seen in The Color Purple, but I've been hearing fantastic things about her, so I can see why she's nominated. My pick forever and ever and ever is going to be Divine Joy Randolph because she was brilliant in The Holdovers. I love her so much, and she's been winning at these critic circles, so I think that she's very promising. I had a gut feeling that Jodie Foster was going to get nominated for Nyad, and here we are. I thought she saved the movie, and she was a lot of fun. Next, we have Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. We have Fantasia Barrino for The Color Purple, Jennifer Lawrence for No Hard Feelings, Natalie Portman for May December, Alma Poisty for Fallen Leaves, Margot Robbie for Barbie, and Emma Stone for Poor Things. This is a solid list. I think that the placement for May December being in the comedy category has just made me despise this film. I really don't like it considering what the subject matter is. The fact that it is under a comedy is kind of alarming, and that really bothered me. But Natalie Portman is brilliant in this movie. Again, if it wasn't considered a comedy to people, then I wouldn't feel the way I do about this film. I thought the performances were great. I think Charles Melton and Natalie Portman were really good. I don't think I liked Julianne Moore too much in this, but it's there. It's there. Shouldn't be in this category, but it's there. Fantasia Barrino getting nominated for The Color Purple, I'm very happy about. Again, The Color Purple love here is very weak, so that could harm its award chances moving forward, but the Globes are always very different than the Oscars, so we'll see what happens moving forward. Early predictions for me, I think that Emma Stone has this on lock. I would love to see her win for Poor Things. It is one of my favorite films this year, and she is absolutely incredible in Poor Things. No offense to Margot Robbie, I don't think this is her strongest performance as much as I love her, and I do think that Emma Stone is going to take it. Next, we have Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture, a Drama. Of course, we have Annette Bening for Nyad. Of course, we have Annette Bening for Nyad. Who thought that wouldn't happen? Okay, we knew it was going to happen. Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon. Then we have Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall, which I'm very, very happy about. Greta Lee for Past Lives, which I'm really happy about. Carey Mulligan for Maestro. And my girl, Kaylee Spady, I'm so happy for Kaylee Spaney that she got nominated for Priscilla. It's amazing that she got nominated for Priscilla. So I'm very happy about that. This is a great list of nominees. And I do think that Lily Gladstone is front runner here, but I wouldn't put it past Carey Mulligan. I wouldn't put it past Carey Mulligan or Greta Lee. I think that that's where we're at here, like those three. So we'll see what happens. Next, we have Best Director in a Motion Picture. I screamed when I saw this list. This is the most perfect list of all lists. Okay, I have never seen such a perfect list in my life to just define this incredible year of filmmaking. We have Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Greta Gerwig for Barbie, Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, and Celine Song for Past Lives. We got two women. We got two women in this. Got two women. I'm very happy. This is a list. This is a list. Okay, this is what we want. This is what we want to see. Okay, all of these films have made an impact this year. All of these directors should get recognized. And I am just so happy that this is the nominee list for the Golden Globes of all things. So I would love to keep this energy moving forward. I would love to see all of these people get nominated for Oscars. I think that's really important here. I do think that this is Christopher Nolan's year. As much as I love Marty, I really think that he's going to take it here. That's why I think that Bradley Cooper should win Best Actor. And this is how we can kind of split everything, make everyone happy. Because to watch Bradley Cooper lose everything again, I'm going to actually cry. I love his work in Maestro. I do think that Nolan's a bit more seasoned, and that's why Bradley Cooper won't win for a sophomore feature. Again, everyone here is very strong. Obviously, we have the king of everything, which is Martin Scorsese, but I do think that Christopher Nolan is going to take it away from Bradley Cooper. I think that if Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon wins Best Picture, then we're all just going to divide it evenly. It's not going to be a clean sweep as we think that it would be with Oppenheimer. So I think we're going to have some splitsies here to make everyone happy. Next, we have Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. Air, American Fiction, Barbie, The Holdovers, May December, and Poor Things. Here's the thing. I don't think May December is a comedy. As I've said, this is category fraud, and I don't see The Color Purple here. And it's a musical. Why isn't The Color Purple here? You could just take out May December and put The Color Purple here. Hell, you could even put Wonka here instead of May December if you really wanted to, but it makes no sense to me to nominate Fantasia Barrino and Danielle Brooks and then not put The Color Purple in musical or comedy. What are you doing? Everyone's coming after Air, and it makes no sense to me to come after Air because it's actually like a sports dramedy, okay? Where May December is literally not a comedy. So let's keep on brand with the genres and actually remove the one that's not supposed to be there. That's all I'm saying. Next, we have Best Motion Picture Drama, and we have Anatomy of a Fall, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, The Zone of Interest. This is perfect. This is perfect. I love this. I love that we have Anatomy of a Fall, and I love that we have The Zone of Interest in Best Motion Picture Drama, and not just in the foreign language categories. I think this is perfect. I would love to see this carry out to the Oscars. I think this is a lock for the nominations. You're going to see a lot of these names pop up. I'm happy that Past Lives is still going strong. And even though I just watched it like this weekend, I think that it deserves to get these nominations. So I'm really happy about that. All of these are great. I personally want Oppenheimer to win Best Picture. I think it has the best run right now. I think Killers of the Flower Moon needs to drop on Apple TV Plus streaming stat for it to gain a bit more momentum for people to actually root for it. But I do think that Oppenheimer is going to be a little bit of a lock, and I really want it to win. I think it deserves to win. I think it's Nolan's year, as I said. So that is what we have here for the 2024 Golden Globe nominations. I'm really excited about this season. I love all the films that are nominated, so it's really hard for me to be like, this one deserves it more than this one. So it's a great run when that happens, because then everybody's happy. We have to spread out these wins just for everyone to get recognition that they deserve for their films. I loved Maestro. I loved Killers of the Flower Moon. I loved Oppenheimer, but those are the three that I think are going to win majority. I do think that Poor Things can sneak up on a lot of people because it is fantastic. I think that Barbie's going to get nominated for a lot, but I don't think it's going to win a lot. And that's fine. That's okay. As long as it's nominated. It did incredible things here. So I could win for song. I could win for production design in the future. But I don't see it winning much else, maybe even costume design. But this is the first one out. These Globe nominations are great, and I'm really happy about this. Please watch everything that is listed on the nominee list, because it is just a fantastic year for cinema, and I have been living in this fourth quarter here trying to catch everything. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the Golden Globe nominations. If you agree with me on certain things, let me know in the comments below. I will be covering awards season. I'll be doing the Critics' Choice Awards. I'll be doing the Globes, obviously, and of course those pesky little Oscar nominations. So keep it locked on here. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. You can always find me over at AMXND Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and Threads. I post some of my reviews there as well. And if you guys want to help me grow this wonderful channel, you can find out ways to do that in the bio below. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep watching movies.